what would you want them to say about it?
Well, I would simply want them to say that even though Americans are divided on the abortion issue, when it comes to protecting pain-capable unborn children that have reached the beginning of the 6th month, that we should all have the humanity to come together on something of that clarity and significance. I hope this bill will demonstrate the humanity of the unborn and the inhumanity of what's being done to them. If the media will do that, they will have done their job. I'm afraid that will be a rare occurrence.
I see Micah is out here today, little 5-year-old Micah, who was born at 20 weeks. Could you talk about why his presence is an example for this legislation?
Well, you know, we've had 2 great challenges in the life movement. One is just people didn't know. They simply didn't know how real these little babies were, how human they were, how much they looked like babies, that we could take their fingerprints at 10 weeks and identify them at 50 years. So there's a lot of ignorance that occurs, and sometimes it's sort of an invincible ignorance that Henry Hyde spoke of, almost a deliberate ignorance. And when Micah stands there, you can't ignore him. He's as real as it gets. And then, of course, the other challenge that we have is just the left is willing to, for some horrifying reason, to simply deceive the people on the reality that we're dealing with here, and to try to write a different narrative and to take their focus off of anything that points to the child. I understand that mothers are in a great challenge in these circumstances, and my heart is so deeply with them. But there's nothing liberating about taking the life of a child. It doesn't liberate the mother. It only puts her in a deeper heartache in the long run. And I'm convinced that if America will look at this as it is and say, okay, what's the real question here? Does this thing kill a baby or not? If it doesn't, then okay, it's no big deal. But if it really does kill a little helpless human baby, and it's done that 60 million times now, isn't it about time we change direction?